Hey there. Like I said in the video yesterday, I'm going to try and talk to people from around the world about how they're dealing with the virus and stuff like that. So today, I'm talking with my friend Jake Simkin in Australia. Just to give you an update on what's happening here in Canada. So far in Canada, as of 6 p.m. this evening, there's 3,385 cases and 35 deaths. So I don't know what your country's like, but if you want to leave comments, we can see how this is going. Um, So yeah, anyways, here's the interview with Jake and I. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So what are you still volunteering with the services?
With the services, I applied. I got an email, so I'm just waiting for what we're doing. Is so far Australia hasn't started on the sort of like cleanup epidemic.
Oh no, I meant like with the fire services. Weren't you doing that? The rescue services or
Oh
something?
yeah.
Yeah.
I still do state emergency service. There's no more bushfires at the moment in Australia, so all the bushfires are gone.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Somebody was asking me. I'm like, I don't know actually. So that's good then.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. So and you applied where? You to what were you saying you applied to and you're waiting for to
Uh,
hear back?
yeah, so I applied for working with cleanup crews for COVID-19. But Australia hasn't sort of like deployed or sent off people for training and stuff yet.
Ah, okay, okay. All right. So and what would you be doing with them?
Don't know. I said I'd be up for doing like from cleaning, security, yeah, and just working out, yeah, if they need medical sort of like people.
All right. Okay, cool. That's interesting. And are they requiring any special training or are they going to train you?
I assume that they probably train you, but
Yeah.
I don't know. There was like a call out for people that were interested in to send an email for expression of interest.
Oh,
So I've already done that, and I'm just waiting for what's going to happen next.
yeah, yeah, yeah. How is the government handling it right now? Like
At the
has your president gone on vacation again?
um, no, I don't think ScoMo is going to go on vacation at the moment. I think he's got a lot of pressure on his mind. Other than that, he can't go to obviously Hawaii.
True. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
everything is all locked off. Yeah, no, there's been a lot of call out for of obviously social distancing. He wanted schools to keep going, but I think a lot of people were willing to go on strike and stuff, and to try and stop people from interacting with each other.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So
Um,
have they
it's
have
a
they man have they
yeah.
mandated anything yet?
Yeah, they've mandated that, and they've set a whole heap of rules and regulations where they obviously there's 5 people can go to a wedding, 10 people can go and attend a funeral. All the bars and pubs and restaurants are closed. Any restaurants that are open can't be open for sitting down customers. They can only do takeaway. Um, Also, with deliveries and stuff, there's no social interaction with people, so they'll just drop it by your door and press the bell and then go off, sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so yeah, we've got these sort of things in mind, but saying that Australia is a very, I guess it's still a very society where we have a lot of mortgage, we have a lot of debt, and it's hard to sort of, and there's a lot of freelancers, so there's a lot of people who have momentarily like jobs like myself. I work freelance in film and TV, um, and I do state emergency service, and I do whatever's like call and needed. So I don't have a job at the moment. So
Yeah, yeah.
um, it's a bit tough to, because this is the majority of Australia. Like most people now chose to live this way.
Yeah, yeah. We have the same thing. I'm in the same boat. I was in the film industry and that's been, put on hold for the pandemic and everything. And, and I, with the fire department, where I'm at right now, I'm not in the fire district. So whenever I'm back in the district, then I'm with the fire department. But Yeah, it's a lot of uncertainty right now, but our government, the Canadian government, has put an aid package to people who are, have been laid off or who work, gig jobs and stuff like that. So they just said today that they're going to give us, I think, $2,000 a month for the next 4 months, I think, just to make sure we can get through this and stuff. And then and that's federal, and there's a couple provincial programs too with some additional funding if we need it. Is Australia doing anything like that?
There is meant to be some financial packages and stuff. It's really difficult or confusing. We have what's called Centrelink, and so Centrelink is meant to give you some money get you through these times. Um, they're allowing you to enter your superannuation, so you can take a certain amount of money out. But there's a lot of kind of idea of basically loaning money, which is still insufficient. It just needs to be money that's going to be directly for you that you shouldn't need to pay back because, yeah, you have to social distance yourself from everybody else and do work. I'd rather work. So
Yeah.
that's the reason why I applied for working with cleanup crews and stuff because what else am I don't want to take a package out. I don't want to sit around frustrated on a computer and on the internet and be frustrated that I can't enter the dole. And then they're going to ask you things like your tax number and all of these details and stuff that I can't really provide at this current moment. And it's partially because I lived overseas for so many years. So, I never really got to sitting around home in Australia and doing tax and filling out all of these like details that will help me get a tax this benefit sort of like so
It seems to be the issue here too. Like they have all these programs, but it's kind of hard to apply for them. Apparently, last week, for the employment insurance, they had over about 500,000 people apply when normally they would get less than 30,000. So there's questions about, okay, sure, you're promising all this aid and stuff, but when are you going to get it out to us? Things like that. There's going to be a lot of people who really have no choice but to go on it too. Like, anything where a job that has a lot of social interaction, those people are going to be out of work, like servers and hotel staff and things like that. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a challenge to get through that part. I know the government was giving out loans to help Canadians fly back to Canada too. So it's kind of hard to fly back when there aren't any planes going anywhere.
yeah, pretty much. So
Yeah.
it's it can be pretty tough times if you're an expat and you want to get back home or you want to see your loved ones. I think most of the people that are Australian have come home that wanted to come home.
Yeah.
So hopefully with that, I don't know. It's going to be a tough time. So I think we were like the first to sort of like panic buy and buy a shit ton of toilet paper. Now,
Which I don't understand. Why toilet paper?
I don't understand either, but obviously people are just full of shit. So, yeah, literally. I ordered a bidet, so I'm saving money and stuff. We have a little hose, can obviously use my left hand, use a bit of water. Did it in the Middle East for years, did it in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just gonna have to do that. Save money that way.
Baby
I think
wipes
the toughest
too. Nobody's buying the baby wipes, but that's what I used in Syria was baby wipes, right? So
well, baby wipes doesn't really disintegrate that easy down your toilet, so you probably shouldn't use baby wipes.
You put it in the garbage.
Yeah, exactly. Put it in the garbage. Don't put it in the toilet. Otherwise, it'll just clog up and it won't disintegrate.
Yeah, they do have flushable wipes now too, though. So, but
yeah,
still, yeah, just do like
you'd be like fighting against other people. I don't know. In Australia and stuff, like literally everybody wakes up super early in the morning to get to the supermarket to buy out toilet paper. Still don't get it.
Crazy.
and it's still been like that for the last 2 weeks. So, yeah,
Yeah, they
but
were
yeah,
doing that here too. And I realized that all these panic buyers that went out and bought everything, they're going to be good for like the next month or two. So, and we're lucky here. There's a manufacturer just across the river, and I guess apparently they've started 3 shifts to restock. So once the stock's back in the shelves, it'll probably sit there because all the panic buyers bought it all up already. So, and they're loaded up for the year. They'll be fine now. So, and I imagine it'll be like that with the food too and stuff. Like pasta's
yeah,
gone and all kinds of stuff is gone. But it's weird what people picked to stock up on.
yeah,
But they were saying that, living here on this side of BC, because there's a fault line here, that we should have had an emergency package already set up in case there's an earthquake and we're all isolated for weeks on end. So it's kind of weird. You had to have a pandemic before people took it seriously.
yeah,
Earthquakes are like, whatever.
yeah. But yeah, the pandemic is, it's obviously stopping nations and stopping countries. There hasn't been that many deaths in Australia. There's only been about 8, but there's been about, I think there's about 2,500 plus sort of thing, like cases so
Oh,
far. So it's not too great for our country. But then also, we've only started rigorous testing of recent. I think America is probably going to be the most hit country.
probably, yeah.
Italy has probably taken its toll and they've kind of stopped it. But I think with the United States is going to have a large, like it's starting to go higher and higher.
Well, you have
So
like mixed signals. Trump is saying one thing, then his medical officers are saying something else and everything like that. So people are getting mixed signals, and there's going to be the Trumpsters who believe everything Trump says, and they're going to take what he says as the word. So it's going to get bad down there, I think, for sure.
there are friends that have told me that there's been panic buying on guns and stuff, and a whole gun shop being bought out. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
Uh, you
yeah.
know,
Preppers.
uh, preppers, but just even panic buying. I think you've got people who just feel like I mean, when it comes down to it, like when you start running out of money to be able to buy food, you're going to either have to steal food, or you're going to hopefully hope that your community is very strong, and you can share. But
Yeah, yeah.
obviously, things that we've learned from people who are mass buying toilet paper is people don't want to share.
Yeah.
And that's the really sad thing about it is that you're kind of looking at that community will possibly crumble over a pandemic, or over a little virus. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, you know, didn't people still gathered together in Syria and stuff, and there's still people that still stay during the war and stuff who don't leave their homes and stuff. And then you got the people who have like fled and stuff. I think people who have panic buyed and stuff, they should appreciate refugees and what people have gone through to survive.
True, yeah.
So we should try and look after one another. This is not a war. It is a war against a disease. We've been given instruction by scientists and doctors who believe it should be right if we can try and curb it. We can try and understand what is the cause of it and try and limit as many deaths as possible. So we should try and listen to general advice and stuff. But by saying that, we don't have to feel like we're going to be isolated. We've got the internet, so I'm like talking to you now via the internet. As long as the internet doesn't die out, I'm sure people can get through. And plus, it's time to reflect and work on cleaning up your house, or working on your garden, or working on your shed.
Or on
Working on
yourself, kind of thing.
little projects that you've been wanting to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can talk to your friends and family via the internet, and still keep in touch with each other. So we could still, we're not alone.
I think in having a pandemic at this time is probably much better than it would have been, say, 20 years ago when the internet was still new and it was difficult to make connections, and you have to rely on dial-up and stuff like that. We would have never been able to do that. Right? It would you type something in and you'd have to wait, and stuff like that. Pictures came down one line at a time and stuff. So it's definitely, I mean, as far as pandemics go, it's definitely a bonus to have it at this time in history. So yeah, the internet is definitely a lifesaver in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
For sure.
Plus, if you're doing schooling or anything like that, you can get all your schooling through the internet. We can make online classes. We can do FaceTime to be able to talk to each other about teaching and stuff. You can set up almost like modules and stuff where you could probably have a group conference with all your students and your teacher, and be able to teach via the internet,
I guess the universities are already doing that too. So they've moved all their classes online now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So I'm not in school, so I don't know, but might be a good time to take some courses if I'm stuck at home anyway. So yeah.
May as well educate.
So how are the people, like when you go out, and are people in Australia, are they kind of like following the social distancing, physical distancing rules and stuff like that, or are they kind of being nonchalant about it, or what?
Well, it's a tough one because I think for like all public places being closed down has really taken its toll.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people are trying to take it seriously. It's people are still very, very friendly. It's just like, but there's no sort of real, like, I guess there's just no touching sort of thing. Or just, everything has to be kept clean. The tough bit is, all of the sort of like cleaning product stuff is just all bought out really quickly. So,
Yeah.
Trying to, that's one thing you should probably Google up. I could probably send you how to make hand sanitizer.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff, so you can make your own, because buying some is going to be pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Unless you really love waking up at about 6 o'clock in the morning and getting into the shops.
Nope.
So, I think if anything, this is a brave new world.
Yeah. Well, I was seeing on the news that there was kids were going down was it Bondi Beach, and were not separating themselves or not keeping distances and stuff, and then they had to shut down the beaches. Is that true?
Yeah, they had to shut down the beaches. It gets monitored by police and stuff. That was basically there to tell you can't really hang out as groups. It's not as intense. Like I was looking at photos in El Salvador and stuff, and like the police will put you away, like handcuff you and put you in isolation room as punishment. There are people.
Heard that about Jordan as well.
So we should take it, in fact, to just listen to people. We're not going to be militarily going to enforce people to stay in homes, but we are going to try and make the curbs just make sure you go home at the end of the day and stay with your family if you have to work, and try and limit your contact with people. If you're feeling sick or whatsoever, don't come into work, don't socialize with people. All the offices are closed down. Saying that, I worked on a film project, a documentary recently on Aboriginal treaty for Australia, sort of thing. I guess it's like for America and the Indians, or even Canadians with the Indians. Just looking at some sort of reconciliation project between Aboriginal and white people. And so we had to wear face masks, we had to wear gloves to be able to work, and hang out with each other. That was kind of a first. I wore an air purifier mask every single day of that shoot and had to wear gloves. And that's the new norm, I think, is like if we're going to be able to do a project like that, or even the film industry, we just need to tailor it to working to certain conditions.
Yeah. Do you have anything lined up for more work coming soon?
No, I don't have anything lined up. It's this is I don't know. I kind of thought I might go rock climbing.
Why not?
Might go rock climbing. Might
They're
go
going to
hunting.
find a lot of germs up there.
I'm not going to find many people at all. I thought, this is my time to, go hunting, catch kangaroos,
What?
learn how to do things,
Yeah,
out in the
yeah,
wild. Yeah.
yeah. Kangaroo.
So,
You go looking for gold. I've been watching that gold hunting show they do in Australia. They
oh
just go
yeah,
out with metal detectors and they find great big blocks of gold and stuff. And I'm like, what the hell? Why aren't I? I should just go there and do that. I mean, here in Canada, they have to dig up everything, and it's just crazy here. Apparently, it's just lying on the ground in Australia.
sometimes, yeah, some places.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
so
cool.
saying that, we can. I might be doing that in the near future. Um, Probably, if
I
I
really
learn how
want
to
to come to
hunt.
Australia, but I might be banned from there. I'm not sure yet. So I know.
Um,
I think a few years ago there was a Canadian who tried to get there to visit his father, and they wouldn't let him in.
I
So
think, yeah, I think the only way to probably is discuss it. Yeah, you have to discuss with the Australian embassy or the Canadian
well,
embassy. I guess.
I applied for one of those. What is it, the ETA thing or something like that? And
It's not, yeah,
they sent me an email saying that it's been sent to another office, and I have to call them or something like that. So I
yeah,
don't know. We'll see. See, but it's. I hope not. I mean, I'm banned from the U.S. I think we're all banned from the U.S. now. Um, Not because of the virus, but because of the other work we've done. And Qatar, can't go to Qatar. Definitely not Turkey. So yeah,
definitely.
Australia's not on that list either. So that's too
Yeah.
bad. But
Uh,
yeah, I just want to come there and check it out. I was supposed to start traveling. I was supposed to go to South Africa last month to work on a movie, and then there was some things came up, and I couldn't make it there as soon as I wanted. Like early February, I was supposed to go up until March 16th, and then the virus started to get bad, and I'm like, okay, it doesn't look like I'm going to go anywhere. The plan was to go to South Africa a bit, and then Iraq, and then go to Sweden, pick up Ferrat. And I said, Ferrat, we're going to do a road trip down to Barcelona. But all of that's been put on hold now because, you know, stupid virus. So, but
yeah,
hopefully this won't last long, and we'll be able to travel again and go visit friends and stuff like that. So,
hopefully.
yeah, yeah. So, but everything else in Australia is okay though. Like, you're not sick, are you?
No, no, everything's okay. It's summertime here, but it's going to
Yeah.
become winter soon. I mean, it's getting cold in Melbourne as it is, but
What's cold in Melbourne? What's that temperature?
well, we don't get snow, so we're okay. So, you know, we'll be all right. But we get like -2. We just get shitty wind, so we get cold wind
Oh, okay.
from Antarctica. So, Antarctica gives us the cold wind sort of thing. But you go up Queensland and stuff, it's like towards the sort of equator where it's quite warm every day. It's like 23, 20,
Oh, nice.
and the upper north and stuff of Australia is quite humid and hot and sweaty. So yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, your Melbourne winters sound similar to Vancouver winters. Rarely
Yeah,
snows, and we might get -2, but we don't really have the wind. So
yeah,
we have wind storms that come through once in a while. They'll blow a million trees down in Stanley Park, but that's about it. So yeah, it's not a. So it sounds very similar. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of
yeah.
cool. Well, we don't have like animals that kill us, right? We think
Yeah.
we only have
We,
two bears
we
and
have
mountain
we have
lions.
a lot of animals that can kill
You
us.
guys have everything: spiders and snakes and frogs and
Crocodile. Yeah.
alligators
Oh, we have poisonous frogs as well. Yeah.
and.
Yeah, we got it all.
Well, that's sounds like fun. So, is there
Yeah.
anything else you want to say about how it's going there? How the country's handling it?
Uh,
How you're handling it? How are you feeling about the isolation part?
this kind of really been like my first day of really being isolated because I've been working on the film shoot. So, um, yeah, I think it's just time to reflect and just time to prepare. My motorbike needs a little bit of work, so I'll probably be working on that.
Yeah, time,
You
yeah.
know, I've got a few other motorbikes that I want to work on, so yeah, I'll be probably cleaning up the garage, setting up everything, and doing work from home.
Oh, that's good then.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
That's
it's
not
just a
bad.
matter of just keeping myself busy. And
Yeah,
just
it's only
sitting
your
there.
first
And I'll
day.
probably work on my scripts and my novels. So
Yeah.
so I should get up around to doing some writing.
Yeah, that makes sense. You have the time for that now. Yeah, that'll keep you busy. I think the key with this isolation is keeping busy. So, I this is probably my 5th or 6th day, and I can't say I've stayed home completely. Like I'll go down to the drugstore, right? So that's it. I'm not really going out anywhere. My one friend, she's she's kind of losing her shit, sitting in the house all day with just her and her baby, right? So she's getting, and she's a little bit paranoid about it. Like I heard somebody cough across the street. It's okay. You'll be fine. But the funny thing today, I was in the drugstore, and at the cash out, the staff put these plastic shields there so that you can't actually cough on each other. But as I'm walking up, I'm in line, and we're all keeping our distance. But then she turns around and she coughs, and the guy's at the counter. He's like, his eyes are all big, and he's just like, that means like something totally different now. So it was kind of like a little, like sure, it didn't sound like that kind of a cough, but at the same time, And then by the time I get up there, she coughs again, and the store manager had just walked by, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry about that. It's like, that's so bad." I'm like, "It's okay, man. She's behind the shield. I'm okay."
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's weird, eh? Little coughs and sneezes, and everyone's all just like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And it's kind of a weird time we're all in. I think the fact that we're all in this is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of, kind of reminds me of like in a war when everyone is struggling with the same thing, but life still has to go on. But there's always that underlying thing that we're all trying to get through together. So I don't know. Have you noticed anything like what I notice here is it's a lot quieter outside because there's so much less traffic. And even the air smells better because it's like there aren't as many planes around, there aren't as many cars around or anything. So have you noticed anything like that?
Yeah, no, it's getting better. I do like the idea of no traffic. Riding
Yeah.
on my motorbike and knowing that I don't have to lane split my way all the way through to the city. Yeah, I'm enjoying that.
Yeah. There'll be
Yeah.
some benefits from this, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of benefits. We just have to see it.
Yeah. See how
and
it
just
plays
be
out.
more creative.
Yeah. All right, Jake.
Cool.
I think that's good. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, no worries at all.
All right, I'll talk to you later then.
Cool.
All right.
Good luck. Stay safe.
You too.
See you on the other end.
Yeah, see you soon. Bye.
Bye.